Welcome to Gold Squadron Paint Wars, a painting competition that gives 3 painters the same model, theme, and 2 weeks to give us their best work, whose technique, artistic choices, and most importantly, execution of today's theme will earn them a Paint Wars Champion medal.
Hi, my name is ericbroz. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been painting miniatures for about 2 years. I've never been a part of a painting competition before, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what my ship looks like. You know, I'm just really happy to be a part of this whole thing, so let's see how it goes.
Hi, my name is Andy Gilbert. I'm from King William, Virginia, and I've been painting miniatures for close to 10 years or so. X-Wing miniatures, more like 4 or 5, I think. What I'm hoping to get out of the competition is just I want to see some cool things other people do and maybe learn some new things and just be able to kind of share my work as well, and I'm just excited to kind of see what happens.
Hello everyone, my name is Florent Barbare, I'm from France. I've been painting minis for a few years now, mostly for my own use. So I don't know if I'll be up to the challenge, but I'm really proud to be part of GSP Paint Wars Season 1.
Smaug the Last Dragon. My armor is like 10-fold shields. My teeth are swords. My claws spears. The shock of my tail is a thunderbolt. My wings a hurricane, and my breath death. How will the last dragon of Middle-earth inspire you for this repaint? And the model you'll be painting today is the VT-49 Decimator.
Smaug, the Last Great Dragon.
My armor is like 10-fold shields. Is this Smaug voice? My armor is like 10-fold shields. My teeth are swords. My claws, spears. The shock of my tail's a thunderbolt. My wings, a hurricane. And my breath, death. Which is pretty cool.
How will the last great dragon of Middle-earth inspire you for this repaint? Well, as I know nothing about Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or whatever it's called, the first step of this is definitely going to be to go on Google.
Oh, that wasn't expected. Smaug, such an iconic character from The Hobbit. Alright, let's get to it.
Our lead judge for today is Lyla Mev. We're also joined by Kuzmanoff.
Heyo.
And Wade Piche. Smaug, that greedy dragon, the hoarder of the Arkenstone, the dragon under the mountain. How would you approach this repaint?
When I think of Smaug, I think of fire, I think of destruction. I want to see oranges and reds, and I am especially drawn to when he's getting ready to do his fire breath, how that orange really lights up his diaphragm up through his throat, and I think it would be really amazing to see that somehow. I don't know how you would do it, but hopefully I'll be impressed.
What I'm looking forward to see is really the scale of Smaug. I want to see players try to bring such a small ship to be such a bigger-than-life creature.
When I think of Smaug, what I'm thinking of is his weakness. He had that one scale that was missing from his belly that the arrow got shot into to eventually destroy the dragon. So I'm very curious to see if any of our painters, they mod their ship specifically on the belly to see if they incorporate that weakness.
Plan of action for taking this ship and getting it to look sort of like a dragon. First thing I decided to do is I don't really want to do any kind of modding to like sculpt dragon bits to it or anything like that, because I don't think that would really flow with the ship at all unless I reskin the whole thing, which I don't have time to do and I wouldn't really want to do. But the kind of interesting thing with this particular dragon is his underbelly is covered with gold and gems and things like that as a protective coating, and I'm actually a jeweler, so that kind of resonated with me. So I'm thinking of basically saying that the wings and this back part here are going to be red and black because that's his top covering kind of color, and then I'm going to take this middle part here and that will be the kind of underbelly. I'm also thinking I have a few have an old random watch that has some kind of fake diamond things in them, and I'm thinking of popping some of those out and actually implanting them in there. And also, one of the other things I read about this guy is he has a gap in all this. It's his weak spot. So I'm going to try to take my X-Acto knife and some other tools and maybe kind of cut out a little spot. Doing a few little modifications for my ship here. As you can see, I have the little kind of more organic looking patch there that's going to be the gap in the golden section, and I've started drilling a few holes and more on the bottom here for the gemstones to set in, which I've gotten out of their casing using the most finesse tool I possibly could, a big hammer. And then I'm also going to, I found online a English to Star Wars translator, so I have kind of his name in Star Wars font. I'm excited to see how it will turn out. I'm also going to try to put in some kind of flame sonic glow effects in here, so hopefully different colors will actually work together, but there's only one way for me to find out.
So what's my plan for the ship? First of all, it is missing a turret, so I will replace it, so the Decimator gets his full firepower back. I think I won't mod it any further, because the ship is fine as it is now. I'll mainly be using paintbrush. Main reason is I don't own an airbrush, and I don't know how to use it. For the paint scheme, I'm still wondering, do I go the old school way, using water-based colors like Alan Lee did when he illustrated Tolkien? Or do I go for the Peter Jackson way, aka New School? I don't know yet, we'll discover it later. I tried to use this kind of fabric to ease the process of painting dragon scales. Use the black undercoat, use this as a stencil to spray brown coat, but it didn't go very well. As you can see right now, the whole model isn't covered in brown. I was aiming for this effect right here. But, well, now I think I have to paint it, all the scales by hand. Might take a long time.
I base coated a spray with Mephiston Red by Citadel. I don't have an airbrush, so this was the most efficient way for me to get a good solid base coat over the whole ship. I'll be using Vallejo model color paints and Citadel paints for the most part on the ARC Trooper's lat. This is a die-cast toy I have of it, and I want to do something like this on the model, kind of up here. So it's a mouth on both sides and maybe breathing fire. I'm not exactly sure how to get that accomplished, but do I cover the cockpits or the windshields, whatever ship, what do you call them on a ship this size? Or do I just cover them up and make it an entire design on top of it? I think I want to keep the ship element together as much as possible. But yeah, I'm hopefully that'll work.
Our first category in the competition is technical quality. Painters are judged on their painting technique. This focuses on the execution of their repaint. Our judges will be looking for clean application of paint, as well as the quality of any construction and modification made to the model.
Andrew went to town with a stippling effect with the reds for his base color. He paired that with a freehand stippling effect of black on top of that. Paired that with an inner glow of orange through some of the panel lines of the ship, and altogether created a very well technical piece. Eric's base patterns were done freehand to kind of create a cool Mustang P-51 mouth. He then used stippling effects with a sponge, I'm guessing, to kind of add some battle damage, and then finished the piece by highlighting each edge of the panel of the ship. Florent meticulously hand-painted each of Smaug's scales throughout the ship, highlighting each piece, also putting in the extra effort of detail. He used a gloss varnish on the cockpits on the top to kind of give like an obsidian black to kind of emulate the talons of Smaug, which we all know are pretty fierce. And then he finished the piece with a very well done freehand eye on top as well.
Our second category in the competition is artistic quality. This focuses on the color choices, how their color choices work together, as well as the general effect that these choices made on the model.
So for the artistic quality within each of the contestants that we have today, they all took a very different road for their palettes, which I really appreciate. So Andrew with the glow effects trying to go for a more lava-based approach with lots of oranges and reds that go up to the black of the now starting to harden rock and molten lava on top. It was really striking and a very good use of color within there to also highlight the object source lighting that they have with the lava effects between the panels as well. So the artistic choices that they're making with their palette really helped bring their idea together, as well as I really appreciated the missing panel on the top. And you can see with the color choices in the middle that it is supposed to be battle damage and the innards of Smaug starting to come out. So the color choices really highlighted that specific modification to the ship. When we go to Florent's ship, they used a very muted color palette with lots of grays and shades of green to get Smaug's body and scales upon the top. And I also like the artistic choice of the lines around the edges to bring out the inner fire within the dragon. That's very striking. And also on the underside of the ship, using pink to highlight the missing scale. So it really jumps out at you when you turn the ship over. And then the eye of the dragon on the top really sticks out a lot. And then having the Arkenstone in the front at the cockpit really has that jewel stand out. And really the very focal point by using the black around it to draw your attention to that spot of the piece. And then with Eric's palette, they went with a more traditional dragons look, with the black against red. The only thing that really kind of lost me a little bit in here is when you look on the underside of the ship, it just looks like a red base coat. And especially when that's where Smaug's weakness is supposed to be, that is one spot that I would have liked to have seen some more artistic liberties taken.
Our final and most important category in the competition is thematic quality. Did the painters actually adhere to the prompt given? And if so, whose choices made the strongest connection to this episode's prompt?
I was very impressed by this round of contestants. I think that they all found their own unique way to address this theme, and I'm of course thrilled that the thing that I requested, wanting to be able to see that fire breath, did come out in one of the ships. Andrew's ship was particularly spectacular. I love that they had that little weakness spot in there on the top. The OSL is incredibly impressive, and I think that it really gave like the atmosphere of Smaug. I think the middle part of the ship is supposed to be like the scales, so we can see those different parts of the body, part of them being lit up by that internal fire and part of them not. And I think that it just really brings the feeling of destruction that is Smaug. For Florent's piece, I love that the Arkenstone is on the front. That is something that I personally would not have considered, and I'm really excited that someone did it. Again, on the underside, you can see that pink belly, which is also particularly grotesque. I'm not sure how I feel about that organic tissue being on a ship, but it certainly gets the point across. And the detail of having that be the side of the face with that one glowing eye, it's fantastic. They clearly put a lot of thought into it. For Eric's ship, they obviously followed the prompt very well, particularly that part about the teeth are like swords, teeth clearly visible. However, personally, I don't read Smaug, I read a dragon. And of course, Smaug is a dragon, but the other ones just felt so individual. Like these are Smaug. These are not dragon. They are this particular dragon from this particular story. And I wish that Eric's had done that similarly, even though dragon clearly comes across, it just doesn't feel as individualized as the other ones.
As the judges make their final deliberations, let's go ahead and hear from our painters.
So, final thoughts on doing the painting competition here. Overall, pretty happy with my results. I got everything kind of done that I planned on adding for the most part. Only thing I really didn't do is I only added gems to the middle section and not anything else because I just didn't think anything else would really fit without it looking too busy. But that wasn't because I ran out of time or anything. It was just a creative choice that I decided I didn't want to go too far on that. But yeah, nothing, no other issues or anything really. Everything kind of went to plan. Main worry is just if the ship kind of scans to the concept to other people. I think it does, but I kind of knew what I was trying to go for. So hopefully it reads okay and kind of reads as a dragon and all that. But that's the only thing I really had any concerns about right now. Otherwise it was a fun competition and I got kind of everything done that I wanted to do. So I'm pretty happy with the results.
Overall, I'm pleased with what I've done with the Decimator. First, because it's the first paint contest I've been in. I used a few techniques I never done before. I painted the whole mini in a short amount of time. I'm usually a slow painter and I get easily distracted. I really enjoy what I've done and I hope you will too. I can't wait to see what the other painters have done on their models. And again, I'm really proud being part of this first season. Thank you.
Overall, the experience was great. I really enjoyed the prompt. It was challenging, but fun. I've never thought to paint a ship to look like a dragon before. I think painting the mouth was great. The teeth were fun. I think the rest of the ship, if I had to critique myself, I think took a secondary element, was a secondary thought to the teeth part. But I think it turned out sharp overall, and I'd be happy to own it. I mean, I kind of miss seeing it go, to be honest. But it was fun to paint, and yeah, I think it's good. I don't know about my chances overall. I think I'm excited to see what the competition brings. But I'm just glad to be a part of the whole thing. It was fun, and yeah, thanks for letting me be a part of it.
The winner of this episode of Gold Squadron Paint Wars is...
liked Andrew's the best because it fulfilled all of the requirements that we were looking for. Technically, it's pretty dang good. Thematically, absolutely amazing, and artistically, their choices really helped reinforce their thematic ideas. The golden panel lining, the black stippling done to help create that lava effect, and the detail that they even put on the underside of the ship just really made this one stand out as being an amazing ship from every angle and across every category.
Thank you to our painters and judges for their amazing work, and thank you to you for watching Gold Squadron Paint Wars. The models being painted on our show are being given away to our audience and supporters, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and then follow us on Instagram and Twitch so that you don't miss when we're giving these models away. And if you want to be a part of our biggest supporters, the ones that made this show possible, head over to patreon.com/goldsquadron. It is linked below. Now let us know in the comments, do you agree with our judges, and is there a painter in our episode that you think is deserving of another chance in a future episode? Thanks for watching Gold Squadron Paint Wars. Gold Squadron out.